Good God.
There's a lot of blue buttons. Um, all right, so it's Fright Night with Ferocious Fee. We are reviewing Disturbia, and we have some unhappy campers, and it's not
We
because of the movie.
no, it's a very sad day today.
It's a very sad day.
You had to start this shit off like that, really? Wow. Okay. Hmm.
Well, it's
It's a
not a
very
sad
sad
day for
day.
me.
It's a very
It might
sad
be a
day,
happy
so I'm
day.
gonna rub some salt in the wounds while I'm
Well,
at it real quick.
it's better we get out of the way now.
Mm.
Oh,
All right,
We're
who wants to go first?
well,
Intro.
like everyone said, it is a sad day. I'm extremely bummed with the gaming world. Um, if anyone hasn't heard, it's the Xbox news. Look it up because I don't know what it's about because I don't do Xbox. But it might affect their convention or something. I'm sure one of these two will tell you about it more. Uh,
This is some bullshit right here.
not
All-
much. Not much is going on for me. I got my Scream 7 ticket, so I'm pumped about that. I started
Nice.
watching a show, Ray Donovan, on
Mm.
Paramount Plus. Seems
You're a little late
interesting.
to that.
Am I late, or I just let it season a little? I mean, the best
That-
part about starting it late is it's over, so I don't have to like wait for a new season, wait for a new episode. I could just binge watch it and enjoy the show, and it's over.
Mhm.
I think that's the best way to do shows, if you possible. I mean, it's old enough that I didn't know any spoilers. I didn't even know what it was about. So I'm enjoying it so far. We'll see if my ADHD carries me through all 82 episodes, but time will tell.
Yeesh.
Other than that, just playing the Balatro, getting a little bit better. I'm a sergeant ranked at 49, so almost at colonel. But besides that, just hanging out. What about you, Silent?
Such a fucking asshole. My God.
Mm.
No, I've been playing a bunch of Arc Raiders since the weekend started. It was a hellish work week, some bullshit going on, but life's life. Um, the good news is everything outside of that's been pretty enjoyable. So yeah, just playing Arc Raiders, watching some movies, trying to catch up on some stuff. We ended up actually watching Disturbia as a family on Saturday, like right after we did our show last week. So got to introduce the kids to that, which was fun.
So this was
But,
family friendly?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I forgot about certain parts of this movie, of which like we'll talk about. But as I go back, I'm like, oh, geez, I forgot about some of the behaviors. But it was fine. It was fine. They're teenagers. I'm sure they've seen worse.
I mean, it is PG-13, so it's not horrible.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, could do way worse. There's way worse that they could have seen. But yeah, no, just happy to be with you guys. Looking forward to the conversation. Fuzzy, what about you? How exciting and how optimistic is your video gaming situation right now?
Well, when I woke up this morning, PlayStation was the talk of the the doom and gloom with the closures and whatnot. And there's probably still going to be more, but Xbox, good old Xbox, they're like, you know what? We normally step on rakes a week later. Screw that. We're going to hold my beer. We're going to sell the whole farm, and we're going to retire or resign effective immediately. Yeah, that's right. You didn't even get the weekend to enjoy your games. We out of here. No, but no, there's a new CEO announced, former AI head or something along those lines. So we'll see. They're saying all the right phrases as far as being in that new position. We'll see if that turns into positive moves for the division. But with the 25th
You know,
anniversary.
you know, GPT chat says all the right things until you get a D on your paper. So I'm just
Yeah,
throwing
it
that
starts
out.
hallucinating, and then maybe
Yeah.
maybe the new CEO was hallucinating. Hopefully not. Hopefully this is triple source confirmed, but we'll see how it pans out. But other than that, I've been playing No Hesi, which basically it's like imagine playing in traffic, but you're speeding and dipping and dodging in between cars in your own fast car, and it's been kind of fun. And I'm hoping an upcoming game has a similar mode. So we'll see if I get to make that video here soon. But other than that, glad to be here with you guys. So, Fee, what have you been up to this past week?
So let's see. Bothering you. You know what I just learned? I just learned that I can literally flip you two. I can flip you guys around on my screen.
Gee, what power.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just saying. If I
Almost
don't
make-
like, what was that?
Almost makes me forget about the depressing news with Xbox.
Exactly. I think this is very exciting news, everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
I could literally place them on my screen any way I want. So if I don't want to
Yes.
see Presto on my left, I can switch him with Fuzzy, and now he's on the right. The
Okay.
little life.
I heard Fuzzy usually likes being on the bottom, so that probably makes sense if he stays down there.
Oh, we're going at Fuzzy again this week.
I'm keeping my mouth shut so I don't get in trouble. How about that one? Because y'all don't live with them, I do. I have to be very, very. I have to have choice words on here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've learned that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Awkward.
Anyway, so well, I mean, the good news is at my job is that I won my grievance. I don't know why I had to put the grievance in. It was state law, but I won my grievance. Nobody's in my room at night anymore. Actually, they kicked the whole program out of the science department. So yeah, somebody's not happy. But it's okay because now I can do stuff in my room.
I don't even know what any of this means, but congratulations.
I don't have words. I don't have words.
And Fuzzy doesn't have to hear about it all the time now.
Yay. The science students will be so happy.
Well, yeah, because we get to play with potassium nitrate and hydrochloric acid.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
not exciting for you. Would you like me to just grab some lithium, out of the cabinet and just start throwing it in the water
No.
and the puddles and stuff? I mean, we could do that again.
We do not want to give explosive ingredient recipes out there on the internet. No.
You want me to just take the Bunsen burners,
No.
take them all out, and then have them,
isn't. No.
and then have
This
them
is,
just kind of like take the flour and just put it in their hands.
You keep saying stuff like this. We're
rub
going to
it
be on a
together.
no-fly list, which is fine because we're driving where we're going, but still,
you're
not be on a
driving.
list because of certain recipes being mentioned on YouTube.
Freaking Fee's trying to get us canceled by talking anarchist cookbook.
Gotta get cats.
Poor
Gotta
man.
get cats.
Poor
I'll be
man's
right back,
James
talking
Bond
my
over here. My God.
Well, I guess the orange one is going back to his room now because he's getting feisty.
First Sony kicks themselves in the dick, then Microsoft kicks themselves in the dick, and then Fee's like, I'm gonna put y'all on a no-fly list. We are off to one hell of a start for the weekend. My goodness.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Man, oh man. So how about Disturbia?
Yeah. Hey,
Anyway, I had to put the kitty cats up.
Oh, there
No.
we go. She's back. Now I can go back to being me.
Disturbia.
Uh-huh.
I was told last week by someone that Megan Fox was in it. That was a lie.
Wasn't me.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck I was at with that one. When
Yeah.
it started up, I was like, wait, who's the blonde? I was like, oh shit, I haven't seen this movie for a long time. I guess I'm forgetting a lot of things.
Well,
Obviously.
Carrie-Ann Moss was in it.
Who? Oh yeah, which was nice. It's always nice to have her.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally misled you on that one. And then when we were watching, I was like, oh shit, that's right, she's not in here. I'm thinking of Transformers, the other movie with Shia LaBeouf. My bad.
Yeah. Do better, all right?
Of course, we could always watch that one too, because the acting in that movie was also a horror.
So,
Oh, okay.
so let's clarify something. Okay.
Yes.
Most of his movies are not the same plot. Do we at least agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a wide range.
Yes. But, sometimes these mainstream movies, some people just dial them in. So. But
I mean, it's
decent.
You mean
kind of ironic we're doing a movie with him, and he had his issues over the weekend and got arrested.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
He was at Mardi Gras, and
poor guy.
what happens there sometimes gets people a little unruly, and looks like the bouncers at whatever club he was at wasn't having any of it, so they punched him in the head numerous times until the cops came.
It's a shame because I feel like he was doing good, but all people do remember is him getting arrested before. So now, no matter how many years later it was, it's like, oh, he got in trouble again. And it's like, it probably was a couple of years since whatever happened last time happened. So give the guy a break.
Yeah.
He was,
I mean,
he was at a convention in Pittsburgh not too long ago, and everyone that met him said he was so nice and the interactions was amazing. His clothing options were a little weird, but everyone said he was really nice. So, he just had a little fun in Mardi Gras and picked a fight and just didn't win and then got arrested. Like a double whammy.
So I'm not gonna say I've never heard, I've never heard about him not being nice to people. But I rarely hear that he's ever at a convention as well. And he did spend every single movie back to back, and he pretty much let anybody come in and watch it with him. And he spent back to back to back and watched all of his movies in one sitting. And invited fans to be there. So I agree. I've heard nothing but genuinely nice things about him. But I've also heard, the other things that are going on in the news in reference to his problems with his girlfriends. So, and it's different compared to when Johnny Depp was put on the stand about his ex-girlfriends, where his ex-girlfriends came in and said, this is totally absurd. Johnny Depp has never done anything to harm me or say not nice things or anything like that. So we didn't get that with him. So,
no. I mean,
there's two sides to him. Two sides.
He's had, we've seen it before with other ones. Lindsay Lohan is a great example. I wouldn't say great, but she's a prime example of bad occurrences for kids that are like child actors in the Disney sphere. But you look at Shia and it's like, he even had his meltdown stuff like a handful of years ago where he was doing that art exhibit. I don't know if you ever heard about this one, but he basically, like, he was wearing a paper bag over his head or whatever,
Oh
and
yeah.
just
Yeah, I
like that whole exhibit alone, you were just like, oh, bro is like breaking, and it's just out in the open, and it hurt to watch,
Yeah.
because like, yeah, exactly, just like what Crossfaith Army mentions, is there was a lot of stuff about how his dad was very abusive. And I think he even talked about it when he was on that podcast show with John Bernthal. They were kind of talking about that and their experiences, and also experiences working on Fury together and stuff. But stuff has come out, and so like to see how he kind of crumbled there for a while and was being kind of like self-abusive, putting himself into some really weird, precarious occurrences and stuff. It hurts to watch, because like he's right around my age. And so I've seen all of the shit he's been through throughout his life. And it's just like, it hurts whenever you see someone or around that same age, like going beat through their life, but like just having the shittiest of situations around it, you know? Poor guy's been through some stuff. I enjoy his movies, but yeah, Homeboy's been through some stuff.
And he has some of that also, Macaulay Culkin kind of trauma as well, where, it's dad pressuring him to do things, and then he's in a situation where, this is kind of life. There's nothing else that I feel I can do but this, because people were continuing to make me do something I didn't want to do. And so the girl on what was it, Sam and Cat, I know it's a Nickelodeon show, I've never watched it, but she wrote a book, and she quit acting after her mom died of cancer. When she was like, when she could quit, she quit, because she went through that same thing. It's like her mom wanted her to act because it's money coming in.
Yeah.
And using their kid to make money. And she, as soon as she could, she was out of there. And she doesn't regret. She thinks it was a blessing in disguise for her mom to have cancer and pass away while she was so young, because it gave her the freedom that she would never have gotten.
Yeah, allowed her to escape what path she was stuck on, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's sad to have to say that about your parent. I'm sure she's sad about that, but this is reality for some of these kids. And, so I feel for him, but at the same time, the side that comes out, that's the angry side, I think sometimes it does harm other people besides himself. So that's the downside to it. But this movie, he was at this time not so bad off, dramatically, and drug wise. So, what were your first impressions of it?
I guess I'll start. Like for me, I remember watching this kind of like years ago, although most of the stuff I've probably forgotten, other than the few key scenes and stuff. But my first impression was, yeah, this is going to be an interesting case of peeping Tom kind of see something and then can't prove something kind of deal. And the movie didn't disappoint in that regard. There were some frustrating parts, obviously, but we'll get more into that later, where I'm like yelling at certain characters and do different things, but it adds to some of the intensity and fun of the movie. But overall, I thought this was going to be a good, mainstream kind of thriller kind of thing, and it definitely didn't disappoint.
I agree. It was fun, I guess. It a nice little thriller suspense movie, not a lot of gore. Um was he a well-known actor at this time, or was he just starting out? Like,
I believe he was well known, but I can look up what his previous stuff was.
Because I know, like, I think this and Transformers came out the same year. So if he wasn't well known, this is the year he probably blew up then.
Yeah.
Was he on house arrest in any of the Transformer movies? Or am I just making that? Like, I feel like he was on house arrest in one of the Transformer movies, but I could totally be making that up.
I don't think he was.
I'm not sure.
I'm not going to go back and watch them, so I'll just Google it later or something, or take someone's word for it.
Yeah, I think prior to this was one of the, what do you call them? Raiders of the Lost Ark or something like that. One of the.
Oh, yeah, he was in the
Indiana
Crystal
Jones.
Skull. Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess
actually that came after. Wow, I thought that was
he was.
This.
He was in
Jones put him on the
Even
map.
Steven. No, Even Stevens
No,
put him on the
Even
map.
Stevens put him on the map.
No.
Even
Yeah.
Stevens and Holes.
Yeah.
Holes put him on the map.
Even Stevens and Holes.
It was Holes that presented him to the adult population along with the kid population. Remember,
Sorry, I
even
didn't
Stevens,
realize that you were his representation. I forgot.
Okay, well, let me explain to you, okay? So
Okay.
let me explain, okay? So
Sure.
remember, he's your age. He's not my age. So he's what? How old is he? Let me see.
And silent. Remember, even though he was in 65 episodes of Even Stevens, that doesn't mean he was any good.
Yeah, no, that never
those
led
episodes weren't
to,
original.
Yeah, that never led to him getting any of those other films or
how they put
anything.
words in my
So,
mouth?
you
I'm
know.
just letting you know, people. I'm just letting you know.
Well, you said Even
Let me
Stevens.
know an alternate reality, but sure.
Letting you know. Why does it come up with? Oh God.
So yeah, I would say Even
podcast
Stevens.
Discuss
Okay,
alternate
he's 39
reality.
years old. Okay. So listen up. He's 39 years old. Okay. So at that time that he was on Even Steven, what year was that? Let's see.
2000 to 03.
Yeah.
It was the 90s into the early 2000s.
My high school years.
Your high school years.
Yep.
Okay. So I was out of high school at that time. So yeah, he was 2000, 2003. Okay. So I'm thinking at that time, me and Fuzzy were already married.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So we weren't watching a TV series on Nickelodeon with him in it. Now, Holes, on the other hand, that right there, which was in 2003, that would have crossed us only because at that time I was a counselor. At that time I was trying to do my classes and stuff like that, and I would have seen the movie somewhere along the way. So I think it was Holes that was a bigger draw than Even Stevens was across the board.
If
For you guys,
I wouldn't his career on when we saw him.
For an adult, yeah. So even with parents are not going to sit down and watch Even Stevens with their kid.
My parents
they would go to a Disney movie with them and sit in the theater with them. They would do that.
Let's just put it this way: he was a known name to kids and teens, and probably young adults for his early part of his career. Then he appeared in Dumb and Dumber, and then he appeared in Charlie's Angels, and then he appeared in iRobot and Constantine. So he had a younger following, and then he was in a lot of like summer box office movies.
Mm-hmm.
So he was definitely becoming more of a household name. Was he that at Disturbia? Maybe not.
No.
But by Transformers and Indiana Jones, he was definitely a household name.
Well, remember Transformers at that time, he was also, so that was like basically almost pretty much.
It was 4 years
Back
later.
to back years. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I started recognizing his name until he was in Indiana Jones.
Damn.
Yeah, because I didn't see Transformers until a couple years after. I wasn't running out to see the Transformers movie. It wasn't my thing. That was Fuzzy's thing.
Yeah. So what you're saying is
Indiana Jones, I
that
will.
even Stevens, Holes, all that stuff didn't really resonate with you because that wasn't what you were going out to find.
But even Disturbia, when I saw it, even he was in one of my favorite movies, Constantine, and I still don't recognize he was in it.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
You know, I was mesmerized
Wasn't original
by
enough.
Keanu Reeves, you know.
No, I
You
don't know.
weren't looking at Chaz.
No, totally get it. He
You're not
wasn't
looking
original
at Chaz,
enough.
you're looking at Constantine. Come on now. I'm just letting you know, until he was in a I guess a role that was iconic, or at least in a role that was next to a role that was iconic, such as Indiana Jones.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Harrison Ford helped put him on the map. I'm just saying that.
He was well on the map.
He was on the map. Jesus Christ. He was in a movie with John Voight.
I kind of disagree.
Okay, well, you
For
can
you,
live in your
he
world of
wasn't on the
delusion.
map. Even though I never watched even Stevens. I know the effect from a lot of like teen and young adult stars that became bigger stars as their careers progressed. But like things from Nickelodeon definitely catapulted them to that. Like you got Britney Spears and probably all the girls that came up around that time, whether it be through Disney or Nickelodeon, that had whatever issues beyond the scenes, but they had their younger fan base, and then they had the world fan base once they left those for bigger, Hollywood movies and stuff. So he was on the map. It's just he wasn't on our radar. Let's put it that way. That would be a more realistic look at it for us, considering we were out. Well, I was already out of college and working at the time when he was doing
you were definitely working at that time.
Steven. So it wasn't on my radar, but that's not going to.
This is what we
just
get.
Somebody's not on my radar doesn't make that they're not on a map. Like
this is what we get from this conversation. Damn, y'all are old.
Yes, I'll admit I'm old.
And yes, I am woman-splaining.
Yeah, and if I didn't have a headache from the other bullshit that we saw earlier today that happened, I definitely have one now, because Jesus Christ. I've never heard someone just throw blatant. You're like throwing dog shit into the fan just to see like if it actually will chop it up, like they say.
I think Fee's catfishing us tonight.
I disagree with y'all.
Trying to push my fucking buttons. That's what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
Why you gotta gaslight people? Stop it.
What?
Gaslighting me, throwing shade at my boy. He's having a hard time, and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you how like the 4 or 5 seasons worth of Even Stevens that you did meant shit to anyone. It didn't get you anywhere. You could have just not done any of that, and you would have just shown up in
I'm
Holes.
I'm gonna be honest with you 100%. If he was just in Holes and he didn't do Even Stevens or whatever, I guarantee you he'd still be in the same place he is.
If he didn't do Even Stevens, he wouldn't have been in Holes, which means he wouldn't have been in Indiana Jones, which means he wouldn't have been in all the other movies.
I disagree with that.
And I disagree with you.
You can go back to your corner, and I'll just mute myself and drink. Because
oh, wait a minute. Fee rage baiting impeccably.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that hurts. I'm sorry, Fuzzy. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing to him?
Because he has to put up with you.
No reason at all.
Oh,
because just like just like Shia LaBeouf, if he hadn't done the things in his life to get to where he is now, he wouldn't be here right now.
See, I disagree with that. He could have jumped
He
some
made
steps.
decisions. He made decisions which got him to where he's at, just like Shia
No,
LaBeouf.
you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he made certain decisions.
Oh
I
my
think somebody
god!
else made them for him.
Oh god! It hurts.
Was it the AI?
It hurts. It doesn't matter who made the decision for him to be in Even Stevens. It opened up the opportunities that it got him moving forward.
Nah, I disagree.
That's just like how when I had a job as a young kid and I put it on my resume and then I submitted a resume, they're like, hey, based on the things you did, we're gonna hire you now. That's how life works.
Based on all of the shows he was in prior, I guarantee you.
Shows or movies or both?
No, shows.
Not movies?
Well, I mean, he was in True Confessions, but what was that?
We're discounting anything he's done because it didn't actually.
No, we're not
impact
discounting
where he got
anything.
to.
I'm just saying that he was in a good number of things where he had exposure, and they were under the same companies as the companies that employed him in the movies. So I'm just saying.
You disappoint me.
Really?
You're literally nitpicking the stuff that you didn't watch as, oh, that doesn't mean anything. He didn't make it because of these things. I didn't see it. It didn't happen. Like, come on.
I didn't see Dumb and Dumber when Harry met Lloyd either.
You know what? He was in that, and he was in Charlie's Angels.
He was in
iRobot. He was in a lot of funny or box office movies, whether he was the focus or not. He was in the movie, and that gets his name in circulation in Hollywood. And if you're in a box office that makes money, you're going to get phone calls to be in more stuff.
Exactly.
I totally get that. But Even Stevens was not his catapult. It was cold. It was cold. That was catapult.
Oh my god! Hey, Fee, please tell me about your career before you went into school, like into teaching. How you were originally going to be, like a rocket scientist, but instead you just decided you were going to change to schooling instead because none of that you'd done for all those years impacted your trajectory in life.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Oh God.
If I had not gone to the schools I went to in Pennsylvania to obtain jobs, if I had gone to Delaware originally, I would have had a lot more years as a permanent teacher.
No.
Yes.
Tell the truth.
No, yes.
You wanted to be a history teacher. Who told you that's a bad idea?
Fuzzy. Actually, I could have been that social studies teacher because if I had gone to the interviews at the time where somebody originally told me to, who also worked in Delaware, that I met over at St. Gabe's, I actually would have gotten one. Would I have been at the same high school? Maybe not, but I would have actually been in a better position.
No,
but that was my mistake.
I told you from get-go, nobody cares about history. I'm not pointing fingers at people that are actual historians, but when it comes to school districts and funding and stuff like that, nobody cares about history. They only care about math and science and maybe English. History is like way down the totem pole. And being a female teacher, you had an uphill climb to be a history teacher. But science, I was like, you could probably do science because you were scared of math. I don't know why. But I'm like, you could do science.
I'm not scared of math. I hate math.
Okay, you hate math. But I was like, you could do science. And what kind of teacher are you right now? What kind of teacher are you right now?
I'm just saying, math is traumatic. I have too many traumatic experiences with math. No, but
But
listen,
Fee,
seriously, I
What
could have
time teacher are
actually
you right now?
Fuzzy. I'm
but
just
Fee,
being
but Fee,
honest
none of
with you.
that matters. None of that matters because I didn't know you when you were that.
Yeah, none of these people knew that you liked history.
Just like no one knew Shia LaBeouf when he was in Even Stevens. I didn't know you
Exactly.
back then,
Because,
so
you
none
know,
of
he's
that
the
matters.
most.
It's only what you are now.
Actually, I could have been a social studies teacher, but they really needed a science teacher, so I
Yes,
stuck with the
yes.
science thing. But they were actually, my school was actually going to give me a job as a social studies teacher because I was in the spec ed program at my college, and they actually opened a position for me, and they said they really need a science teacher, so I said I would continue on with science.
That's a really long way to say you were right.
No, that's not really a long way to say you were right.
None of that matters, Fee, because we're talking about you now. None of that stuff got you to where you're at. Remember? You
Whatever. I disagree.
told her.
I
Okay.
disagree.
Anyways,
It's
continuing
life
on.
choices and mistakes I made
Exactly, life
that
choices.
shaped me.
Thank you. I'm glad that we could agree finally.
No, I don't see how that's an agreement.
No.
Anyway,
Okay, so anyways,
Your history experience and all of that was your Even Stevens.
yeah, exactly.
no,
You're
it was
welcome.
not.
Thank you for
No, it was
explaining
not.
it in a way that she'll understand.
No, it was not. It was not successful at all.
Oh,
More like that
okay.
is day episodes that you know, that one episode of the TV show that you keep on getting on different TV shows. That's what that was like. Anyway,
What was your first impressions of this movie? I think that was the original question.
What?
I'm more concerned about this. Why are we not visiting PA or Delaware now? Like, what's up with that?
Because you're there.
Oh shit.
And Fuzzy's not always right.
No, I'm not always
having
right,
fun
but
with these
there are
comments.
times when I'm right, and it's wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, so this is how it is. Fuzzy tells me all the time when he thinks he's right, and then whenever I'm right, he just ignores it. It's like we don't speak of it.
Sorry, are you
Wait,
still
what?
talking?
Exactly.
Weird.
All right. Who else has not remarked about their we're still in first
I think that's
impressions.
I think it's me. I think everyone else probably said. So this came out I think when I was working at the movie store. And I saw it in theaters and I really enjoyed it back then. Given again, like I was the age range, and so it was like right up my alley at that point in time. And I remember because we're old, as some people highlighted. I had actually bought an HD DVD copy of this movie because that was a thing at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so stoked because I was like, oh man, this is awesome. It looks so good. I can't wait to, have all these cool futuristic movies in HD DVD. And then we found out HD DVD wasn't actually a thing. It was being discontinued, but it was a combo disc, so I could still, watch it. But yeah, it just goes back a long time. And I enjoyed my time with it. Just in general, when I saw the trailer for the movie way back in the day, I was just excited because it had Shia LaBeouf, the kid from Even Stevens.
And Megan Fox.
And Megan Fox, yeah, because apparently I had an embolism and forgot about who all was actually in this thing.
Her real name is Sarah, I think it's Romer.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Cutie. At that point in time, I was like, dang, not bad. And then when I go back and I watch the movie now, which I'm sure we'll touch on, I'm like, oh wow, there was a lot of weird, awkward, stalking nature in this movie. But
Yeah, there
we'll
was.
get to that. We'll get to that for sure.
What about you, Fee? Please
hope-
humor us.
Oh, humor you? Maybe. So this was back in 2007 when this came out, and I mean it did well. So let's see here.
I just picture like Transformers, like 500 million it made. She's like, it did okay, could have did better.
Well, this was a 20 million budget. I mean, it did have some, cast in there that were at the time in bigger films like David Morse and Carrie Ann Moss. So even the guy that played Gutierrez, the officer, he was in Crank the year before.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was one of the
Main
gang
bad
members or
guys.
something. Yeah. So, I mean, there was a lot of well-known people in here. So the opening weekend made its money back at 22 million. The gross overall for US and Canada was 80, and then the gross worldwide was over almost 120. So, I mean, it did well. It did really, really well. I think it had a simplistic story. There wasn't a lot of twists and turns to it. I know Fuzzy had asked me, "Oh, you're just watching this now?" Because I watched it today. You're just watching this now? I'm like, yeah. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, Gutierrez is gonna show up, when he needs him, right?" He's like, "Yeah." So there were some predictable parts to it. And I do remember the one scene where the officer was in. I do remember that. The rest of the movie I didn't remember from when I originally watched it. Just that one part for some odd reason. So I think this simplistic story goes back to what a lot of the thrillers and horrors of the 80s and early 90s, where it's like let's just make it easy on the audience. We don't need a whole bunch of convoluted stuff here. Let's just rely on the actors being able to act and being able to convey and being unique on camera and stuff to draw in the crowd and get the audience to continue watching. And I kind of like that. I kind of miss that. I don't know about anybody else, but I do kind of miss watching movies like that. So it was nice to have to watch it again and everything. And I don't have any issues with any of the actors that were in here, although some other people might think I did or that this wasn't original. But I will say this, okay? At the time, we all know there were movies that were coming out with similar plots to each other. I mean, that has always been. So I think there were other movies in 2000 between 2006 and 2008 that had a similar theme to this one, but not exactly the same interactions. The same plot, but not necessarily the same follow through.
So now you're forgiving of things not being original.
No, I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm saying. When we have movies that come out, let's look at The Abyss, right? There were two movies that came out at the same time that one was originally shelved. Another one got picked up that had been shelved for years. And then there was a third one that everybody was like, "Oh, this is going to be original," not realizing that there were two other movies that were shelved. It was The Abyss and a couple of other movies like it. I can't remember offhand what the other two movies were, but they all had similar plots. And it came down to the fact that there was a lot of secrecy about and they could have that secrecy at the time. Nowadays, it's harder for companies production companies and filmmakers to keep that secrecy with all of the internet and people not keeping their mouth shut and ignoring NDAs and all this other stuff, because we all know NDAs really don't have any legal grounds most of the time. But back in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, people were afraid of NDAs, right? Am I right? Most people were, unless it was fuzzy, right? Yeah. So that's why I'm a little bit more forgiving. Okay, but when I see the same exact scene that I saw from a 1980 movie, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. You're not being original. Okay.
Okay, sure.
I'm a very complex person.
Okay.
You heard it, chat.
Uh-oh. People bringing it up again. Xbox news is going to just keep on coming back the whole entire stream tonight.
It's gonna stay around with us for a while. I literally just got an Xbox message from Sin, who jumps in occasionally, and he's like, "What a crazy 48 hours from Bluepoint shutting down to Phil and Sarah leaving Xbox." Yeah, this is just gonna be our new reality for a minute. It's I don't know, something.
I'll just say this for originality for Disturbia. How about that? That I wouldn't say the opening scene because it was just basically him fishing with his father, but that car drive, like,
yeah,
man.
that was brutal. My daughter, when she saw that, she was like, "Oh my god, and she's like, "Can you rewind that?" Because a lot of stuff just happened all at the same time, and it was primarily when the truck veers to the side and they end up hitting that car like dead on.
Yeah,
It's such a fast turn from good to just shit hit the fan.
yeah.
That, like, she was just like, wait, I gotta process this. Can you run that back? It was bad. Oh my goodness.
So here's the thing. Okay, so we have in this opening scene, we have a black SUV, massive one, that is weaving in and out of traffic.
Yeah, I thought it was just a green one that passed him.
Yeah.
A green Ford Explorer.
It looked black to me, but anyway, I'm just saying it's a dark color, right? It's a dark color SUV, right? So it cuts in front of them. Now, what would your natural reaction be?
Give him the finger? No,
Honk a horn?
Well, Fuzzy's natural reaction, I mean, I'd give him the middle finger, but Fuzzy would be yelling, of course, but Fuzzy would have backed off.
Yeah.
Because
I'm afraid that the idiot's going to brake check me. So, yeah, I'm going to leave some distance.
Yeah. But at the same time, Dad should have gotten off the phone.
Well, Dad wasn't driving, so Dad could be on the phone. His son should have got off the phone.
But his son was driving. Like, okay, so if we had the kids in the car and one of them was driving, would you have been on the phone?
With my eyes on the windshield, yeah. I would probably be talking low and not excitable, so not to distract one of the boys while driving, because we've had that scenario, and one of them almost missed a stop sign or a stoplight.
But Dad didn't do that. Kale's father didn't do that.
Well, no, he was looking at his son instead of out the windshield.
Yes, and his son was looking back, right?
Yeah.
So, definitely a mistake. But having the son drive, so, basically tailgating that point, whether the guy was wrong for weaving in and out of traffic, he's definitely dead wrong. but dad should have said, hey, let's reduce speed or whatever.
Well, I never had to say that to the boys, but they were always nervous enough when I was in the car with them. So
Yeah, I know.
That scene just felt very unnecessary. Like you had this big like father son moment,
Mhm.
and then you had the accident where the dad dies,
Hmm.
and then that's the end of it. They don't ever go to the funeral, nothing. It's just like
Yeah.
they basically just showed that just to show that like it was only him and his mom. Like they
Mhm.
very well could have just made it that their parents
Yeah.
are divorced and they're not together anymore. They
And you
could have
gotta have
like
drama.
what?
But
You
then he
gotta
wouldn't
have
have exploded on
drama.
the teacher and popped him in the
Yeah.
eye.
That was to
Yeah.
set the tone for why he would be in house arrest. We wanted to. I guess they wanted him to be likable to the audience still, because if we had some, unruly, disrespectful, kid without, seeing the trauma that created it, we wouldn't have liked his character. We would have been
But
like, kid deserves it.
they really didn't even show any trauma. Like the accident happened, the dad died, and that was the end of it. Like
No, they did. They did show it. I mean, and this is where sometimes I kind of like the older movies, because when you're okay, so the accident is, they hit the light colored car because they didn't see it, and
Mhm.
there's two people on the side of the road because I guess they're broken down, and then it looks like, they're at least gonna make it or whatever. Maybe dad's maimed or whatever. But then a red truck comes out of nowhere and winds up hitting them from a different angle, and that's how, dad dies.
Yeah.
And you
right in
see
the
the look
passenger
on
door.
his you see the look on Kale's face at that time. We don't see the dad dead. They don't want to show that. They just want to show the reaction of Kale losing his father, which I think he did a good job doing. Like, it wasn't too over the top. It wasn't he kind of silently was sitting there, shock and reflecting on, dad's not alive. And that's where they wanted to set the trauma. They wanted to set that this is going from a happy kid to really a devastated kid. And they didn't need to show the father. I don't think they need to show the father dead and bloody and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
And then we open up with, yeah, a disrespectful teacher. I'll be honest with you, we are not trained that way. In fact, we're yelled at if we were to do something like that. We
what
would
would
have
your
been,
father think?
yeah. I mean, honestly, they would have, of course, he could have gone and gotten the kid arrested or whatever. But I'm going to be honest with you, he wouldn't have had a job after that. I know that for a fact because I've seen it. I've seen kids hit adults straight up, and they're like, well, no, I'm pressing charges. And guess what? Because the school district felt that the teacher instigated it, they just lose their job. And the union will sign off on that. That's the only time the union usually will sign off on something like that, because it's a non-argument for everybody for a teacher to do that, especially that. I mean, the kid was what, maybe not even a year from when his father died.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been in counseling. He probably wouldn't have even been in that teacher's classroom for it to happen. But of course, we have to have drama in the movie, right? Have to have drama in the movie.
right.
Yep. So, and his buddy was like, "I'm all attention. I'm gonna make fun of this whole situation in the classroom to get all the attention, and everything." So I guess he was trying his best, and unfortunately, it wasn't enough to distract from Kale having to do the assignment as well.
Well, he kept on saying one particular word in Spanish that sounds
Yeah,
like something in English. So
yeah, yeah. And kids do that. That is definitely something that kids do. Um,
Kids will be kids.
Kids will be kids, and I don't have a problem with anything like that. I think it can be comical, and I'd rather the kids, play like that in the classroom, try and find words that kind of sound like curse words, rather than what they could be doing in class. So, to annoy me. Oh, 15? How old was Kale in this? Supposed to be.
Well, at the time of the accident, he should have been 16 because
Okay.
Good point. My
a
bad.
year later,
Mhm.
well, 16 one for driving, and two a year later, and he's in front of the
Mhm.
judge.
Yeah.
They were saying, well, you're 6 months away from 18, so he's 17 at that point. So with him
Yeah.
having the ankle monitor, he's at 17, and he didn't get
Yeah,
charged
so
as an adult because I guess the state that they were in doesn't charge 17-year-olds as adults.
that's
Now there are
that's that.
states that do that at 16, and then there
No,
are states that
that's
are
not what the judge. That's not what the judge was saying. What the judge was saying was he had the discretion
oh
to charge him because he's only 6 months out. That's why he said you're getting a break.
okay.
I'm being very, very generous with you, especially with 3 months house arrest
Mhm.
for aggravated assault at that point. But no, they have the discretion. I mean, I just saw recently in a case where, and I don't agree with this, but there was a 19-year-old that was remanded to the juvenile justice court. And the reason why I don't agree with it is because it was a sexual assault case. But student athlete, all that distracting stuff, don't want to ruin their future life or anything kind of
Ruin
situation.
somebody's life, possibly, but don't ruin their future. Okay.
Exactly. It's like, oh, it's okay for the girls to have their lives ruined, but through all of this trauma, but let's not ruin his life. So yeah, it was another situation like that, and I think the case right now is like close to 2 years old or whatever. But yeah, he was 19, and recently, and the judges viewpoint on why is because at the time that they said he committed these crimes, he was under 18, even though he's currently 19, which honestly, that shouldn't have happened. So yeah, he was being cut an extreme break by the judge. And I think the judge was also trying to send a message to the teacher as well, in the situation. Like, why are we even here kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because as somebody that, if I had gotten punched by a student, yeah, 3 months house arrest, I would have been livid.
But are you instigating it?
No, I don't even like to be near them when they're agitated. So I'm like, I'm not in your range to hit me. But I have seen other teachers that didn't instigate things, and kids did things because they think it's funny. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we lost a teacher. He retired early because of that. So, yeah, I've seen both sides. And in this case, I think the Spanish teacher was well deserved. I honestly do. Y'all can disagree with me. I'm not advocating for students to punch teachers or anything like that, but for this movie, yeah, I would have been support. I'm just saying.
If he did, it would have been a short movie.
True. Was this when I was in school? Teachers didn't play with students and would cuss us out. Oh no, I do that, but there are some people that still like play with students as if it's as if they're friends with them or whatever, and then I find out later that these individuals actually are relatives of these students in some capacity, whether it's by friends of the family means or by actual blood relatives. And it just creates an awkward situation for some of us because we know the confusion it creates. I had one kid that would play in the hallways with a couple of our paras, and they would allow it, and they would punch each other back and forth and everything. And the kid came into my class and patted me on the head and was about to punch me in the arm. And I said, don't play with me like that.
We don't play that.
Nah, I said, don't play with me like that. I am not your buddy. I'm not your peer. And we are gonna be sitting with the principal and the dean in about 10 seconds. And he's like, what? I was just playing. I'm like, yeah, but you don't play like that with teachers. So I will say something to the kids, but like I said, there are some people that confuse them, and those are the ones I don't advocate to allow be punched or anything.
How nice of you.
Yes, yes. Yes, unfortunately. But no, I mean it happens. I've seen some videos on it. I've seen, situations where teachers have instigated and teachers haven't. And any way you look at it, those teachers lost their jobs regardless. So, but no, me, homie, don't play that. And Fuzzy knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of our chaperones when we go on field trips.
So I don't know about you, but minus being on house arrest for 3 months, being told to stay home for 3 months sounds pretty nice to me. Like
That sounds great.
Like
I
that.
love that.
I'm just like, wow, if I had 3 months where I didn't have to leave the house, what would I do? And I'm like thinking about stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that would be horrible. Like, I've done worse.
Dude,
Stay at home for 3 months.
You have no idea. Given the circumstances back in September, October, which you guys know what I'm talking about, I ended up getting myself a nice month and a half. And
Yeah.
it was amazing. Like I caught up on shit around the house that otherwise I would have never had the time to do. It was great. Like, was it a little anxiety inducing occasionally? Sure. But at the same time, like, I used that time to my advantage. I slept. I caught up on chores. I did like all sorts of stuff. It was great. 3 months of that? Oh, dude. People always tell me, they're like, oh, well, when you retire, like, you don't have anything to do. I was like, I am very resourceful. I would find shit to do. Don't you worry.
Wait.
Like, that is not something I am concerned about.
But here's the thing,
I'm not gonna get bored.
But here's the thing though, Cypher, is that I'm a 10-month employee with a guaranteed extension when I come back in the last week of August. So I get roughly about 2 months off. So if they had put me on house arrest, or if I had been forced to sit at home or whatever, it'd just be like summer vacation.
Oh,
I would have no issues whatsoever.
Boo-hoo for Fee over here.
Crimea River having fucking summer break. You know when I had summer break last? When I was in school. Don't come here for sympathy.
No. But here's the thing, though.
I've been kicked in the face over and over by the man for the last couple decades. I deserve my month and a half.
Okay, just let you know, while you were enjoying your month and a half off and everything, we public school teachers in Delaware didn't get that. But that's not the point. The point
but you had 2 months, a couple months previous.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, whenever I have that 2 months off, I get to annoy Fuzzy that whole 2 months.
No, I'm sorry, Fuzz. Sorry, bud. It was like, I don't know, it was like a new lease on life. And then when I went back, I was like, oh.
and yet again, I know what that feels like.
Okay.
After the 2 months.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I'm Batman.
Yeah. Imagine if you didn't have those 2 months every year for about 2 decades.
Yeah, then I also get my week off in November. I get my almost 2 weeks off in December.
Yeah.
And then I get my week off in April.
I get the 50-minute or 59-minute rule if we're lucky the day before Thanksgiving. So I don't want to hear it. you you have no idea. You have no idea. Too freaking
I'm
weak
just
at
going to keep
Christmas,
quiet
Thanksgiving.
on
Yeah.
vacation time.
I don't know. Cypher might be kind of doing a shutdown rain dance kind of thing. soon.
No.
Well, unfortunately, this last time we only got like a day. And I was like, wow. missing
But it was
that
day.
last one. Missing that last one.
Get a reminder that it can happen again.
Someday, maybe. Anyways, sorry.
So, all right. So we have this brutal scene that it opens up to, and then we have, of course, the plot twist or the instigation to put him in his place. So how did you guys feel about, because I mean this thing was an average of what, an hour and 40 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were 5 minutes of credits, by the way. I don't know why there was 5 minutes, because there was no extra stuff at the end, but there was legitimately 5 minutes of credits. So this was about an hour and 35 minutes long.
Yeah.
So how did you guys feel about how it was flowing? Did you think it was too long, too short? What?
It got a little bit I know that obviously they wanted to kind of highlight like the boredom and you know the tedious nature of him hanging out around the house, being on house arrest, but it did kind of dwell on that a little bit too much in a couple spots, but they did a good job generally with it. I think that hour and a half to like hour and 40 minutes is kind of just the sweet spot for a lot of these type of movies anyways, just because it allows them to, you know, like build some quick tension, put some character development in there, maybe some story beats, and then just jump into some of like the thriller or horror type of stuff. That time frame always seems really good. I know I've watched movies that have gone longer and it's been fine, but in general it just feels like that nice hour and a half to like hour and 40 is just sweet. It's the sweet spot.
What about you, Presto?
No, I agree with Silent. Like, you needed to feel the boredom, like he felt the boredom, to understand like why he started spying on the neighbors and kind of stuff to occupy his time, I guess.
Mhm.
Because yeah, what else is he gonna do? Like, if he was just watching TV or playing video games the whole time, like there wouldn't be much point to the story. Like, the neighbor would keep doing what he's doing and go on. Now that neighbor, he's lived there, right? Like, and he's been doing this. It's just that he's finally got caught because Shiloh's been on house arrest. Like, that seems kind of suspicious. Like, no one ever noticed any other time anything suspicious, but Shiloh gets put on house arrest for 3 months, and he like solves the fucking murderer of the town that no one knew they were even looking for. Like, no one knew people were missing or anything else. Like, they should have like made that more of a point, like people missing or there's this murder on the loose, or I don't know. It was like
A little. They had the one lady in the newspaper. I guess she was the local one, the redhead, or the first redhead, not the one in the Beetle. But I got the impression that he was there for at least, let's say, 3 to 5 years. Like, I don't think he's been there for ages, kind of thing. But yeah, you're right. It is kind of strange. This teenager all of a sudden is peeking out his window and catches probably the biggest, serial killer that side of wherever, town they live in, type of thing. But
and if he was killing that many people and he hasn't got caught, you figured he would have been a little bit more relaxed and got sloppy. So all those like hints that Shiloh thought he was seeing and turned out to be nothing. Like, this guy was way too smooth and like aware of his surroundings for having as many bodies as he did. I feel like eventually they become relaxed, and
Yes.
like the serial killers you see are like almost cocky, where it's like they get a thrill of like almost being caught or like seeing how much they could get away with without being caught. So like for him to like know that girl was following him in the store and like went in her car and like basically had to talk with her, and it was just I don't know.
That was part of him being cocky. That he
Yeah.
was comfortable.
He was. He was definitely comfortable, and he had definitely been doing it for a handful of years. Because like you look at that, you look at that elaborate tunnel system that he had under that house, and like all the stuff that was going on there is like bro was set up. Like he was set up for the long haul. It felt like it was yeah, I don't know. He had one hell of a setup on his hands there.
It almost reminded me of Poltergeist with the swimming pool with all the skeletons in it when he falls through the floor and like into all the dirty water and you find all the bodies. I'm like, that reminds me of Poltergeist. And it kind of like gave me a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes when like he's going down the basement and finds the hidden room and stuff. Cause like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they like Leatherface is down in the basement behind the hidden door, like kind of thing in his own room. In the one, I don't know, there's like 17 of them. I forget which one it is. So it almost seemed like they took a couple of scenes from movies and kind of made it into their own, which I appreciate it. If they did not mean to do that, it was still cool, and I'll pretend they did to give them more brownie points. But yeah, they felt like there was, like I said, a 17-year-old kid on a 3-month house arrest is solving like the John Wayne Gatesy murderers or something. Like it's just Charlie Manson got caught by a 17-year-old. Like a little unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do give him credit on, me being the car enthusiast I am, that Mustang with the dented fender and then having the repair fender, I could tell it was a repaired fender because of the paint swirl in the lighting. For a car like that, you would definitely want to do a couple of more coats and probably clear it, as opposed to it looked like it was like a 1 or 2 layer, and you could see the waviness in whatever cheaper fender panel. Or maybe he hammered it out himself and didn't just smooth the steel quite as well, but you could tell it was a repaired thing, which I think the cops should have noticed, because cops do pick up on stuff like that, especially if they've been involved in, breaking up chop shop rings and things like that type of deal. But they did make it at least noticeable. And I was like, yeah, that's a quick repair. That's not, nobody that owns a 65 Mustang is going to go ahead and do that kind of cheap type of repair unless they're in a hurry to get something done, kind of thing. So they are not on police radar or something type of deal. So
at the same time, though, because I definitely agree, like the cops should have noticed something tentatively. Like the problem that Kale runs into is that he's already got a history with this cop, and also we know the familial ties to the teacher. So like I feel like there's very much a lean to trust that this kid is just being a pain in the ass and just being being like sorry, it's old people words, a hooligan. But like it very much feels like they're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, it's the boy that cried wolf. So they're not paying as much attention.
So Cypher, I'm gonna have to stop you there. We have to check if you're allowed to use hooligan. You may not be of age to use that word. I'm just letting you know.
Back in my day, we used to use hooligan, and we used to eat corrugated bran puffs. And we'd walk up and down the street to school 15 miles.
Uphill both ways.
So I will get back to you on whether you will be assessed a fee or if you will be exonerated. You will know
I
in
don't
7
even
to
think
10
we're old
business
enough to
days.
use words like hooligan.
Hey, my parents were almost 40 when they had me, right? So I was surrounded by old people in my youth.
So was
it's
Fuzzy.
just unfortunately what it is.
So was Fuzzy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my parents were 42 when I was born. My siblings were quite older, and that kind of made it like I was an only child because they were already grown and out the house. So that was awesome.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you. My oldest brother, he was actually, and even by the time that I was to the age where I could remember, my youngest brother was actually off to the army as well. So my oldest brother was in the army already, like by the time I was born, basically. And then the other one was gone before I could really remember it anyways either. So I feel you. It's granted I had the sisters around and they were assholes when I was a kid. But they eventually left too, which was nice. Anyway,
just remember 7 to 10 business days. We'll make a decision.
I'll say hooligan as much as I'll say hooligan as much as I want. I'll say hooligan until I wake up tomorrow and my back is achy again.
I just
We should bring it back.
I just picture the Petridge Farm guy.
Exactly.
Whenever he does that.
Yeah, I'm over exactly like what FarQ says in the chat. I'm over 21. I can say the word. I'll lean on his guidance on this. I think he's trustworthy. You've sent me some sketchy information today. You said that Shia LaBeouf would have had a Hollywood career, even though if you got rid of his childhood acting, he would have still had a career, like a big career in those films. You've been giving me false information today.
I'm not giving you false information. Not at all. Not
I
at all.
I trust FarQ more than you on this. Just
Nah.
If Shia LaBeouf was in Sinners, would it have made it better?
Oh, stop. Stop.
I wasn't sure if that was a dig at me.
So it's too soon for Fuzzy. It's too soon for him.
Just an honest question.
Sinners alone.
Do you want me to be in the doghouse?
Yes.
Only place for you to be.
Sorry, I didn't hesitate on that. I'm sorry.
I want you to be where you are more comfortable, and if that so happens to be the doghouse, so be it.
No, she's definitely not comfortable in the doghouse.
Don't put me in the doghouse.
No,
I'll bring out one of my favorites.
I never want to see you. I never want to see you have any punishment or pain.
I'll break out one of my favorite movies and make you watch it.
Dead and Breakfast.
Oh, Dead and Breakfast.
You already did that. Yeah. You already did that. We don't need that again.
I'm so sorry. It's too soon, guys.
The story with Fee and Sinners. We don't have enough time in a day.
Let me sum it up really quick for him or for this person. Fee said the movie was not original and gave it like a 1.2 out of 10 and basically hated it.
Yeah.
It wasn't original enough.
I guess we do have enough time.
It made Fuzzy very angry with me.
It made us all very angry with you.
To me.
Made us all very angry with you. I don't think Presto was necessarily as like offended by it, but I know that all three of us.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that one, and you were like,
no, I explained it to him. I sent him the messages. I told him. I was like, dude.
You even at least gave it a fairer score. Like she was like, no, scorched earth, 1.2.
So while Fuzzy had his support cipher, he didn't have his support Presto at the time, and it just didn't play out very well for me later.
Yeah, so I tattled on the parents and explained like, hey, listen, this is the bullshit that you missed.
He was basically like, yo, is there any possible way you can make this? Because Fee is fucking lit as fuck with what she is saying tonight.
So if anybody wants to watch the episode, it is still up. Fuzzy has not made me take it down.
Yeah, yeah. Go back and listen to that one. That one's a winner.
So you can form your own opinion.
I almost wish it was like that movie Shazam with Sinbad that really doesn't exist. Like I almost wish that
And
episode
I
didn't
argue about
exist.
that still. I still argue about that.
He wore a costume in a different world or whatever TV show it was. I don't know. What is it?
One of those Mandela effects.
Mandela
right?
effect, yeah. I got a couple other Mandela effects that I'm still dealing with, but yeah. Between 96 and 98, there's some stuff that definitely went awry. But anyway.
We saw some shit.
Yeah. There's something in the history books that said it happened in 96, but I clearly remember it being in 98.
Which one?
When we were in Egypt.
Yeah, but
remember the bus that got hit?
No, but so I don't know if there was a bus in 96 that also got hit and one in 1998 that got hit, but we didn't get our information about the bus for 1990, the one that got hit in 98. We didn't get that from the news. We got that directly from our senior staff.
Well, I got the heads up warning.
Yeah.
The morning before in the officers meeting.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we're getting a lot of chatter, blah, blah, blah. We might cancel the trip because we were supposed to go to the pyramids and in town or whatever. And then the tour bus got hit, or some sort of German tour bus got hit. And then the next day, each one of us was assigned a Marine MP with an MP4 and a black trench coat. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm not going if I can't bring my own weapon. So much for that trip. I didn't go and she didn't go. So
this is, so I will tell you this. Fuzzy was supposed to go on the trip, but he gave up his seat because I wasn't going. I remember that.
Yeah.
So we had gone to Egypt together in the military and everything for the exercise, and the exercise was part of the after effect of the Cold War. So part of the Cold War, concessions and stuff like that was to do certain things, including having certain, posts in certain countries and stuff like that. And Egypt was one of those posts. So we were going over on the training exercise that they usually had, every single year as part of the concessions. And we happened to be able to go that one year. And it was what, for like 3 weeks or something like that, a couple weeks?
Yeah, it was at least 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But the key thing was, even though it was from a concession from the Cold War, it was being ramped up because in 98, we knew we were going to do Desert Storm 2. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories. Just know that Desert Storm 2 was already well underway, planned in 98. Mm-hmm. And that's why I remember it being 98.
Yeah.
History book says what happened in 96, but I can see it being 96 because it was very early in our relationship, which I think started in June.
Yeah, but we weren't together. No, we weren't. So, all right. So let me fill you in because I know we've been together for literally almost 30 years. So in 1996, I met Fuzzy at the unit. Mm-hmm. Then I went to basic training and I went to my AIT right after that. Mm-hmm. And when I came back, Fuzzy was still there, but he was in a different role than I was. He was a cadet. I was enlisted, and I was a PFC because they had given me my original rank back. Because I had gone and was with another unit, but I had been out. I've been literally separated because I had asked to be separated. So I never went to my original AIT. So they asked me, well, do you want to go back to basic? And I said, yeah, I'll go back to basic. Not a problem. So I went and I had to do the whole thing over again, which I didn't really care. I went back to the same place that I originally was at. So when I came back and everything, we had known each other for a few months, and then we started to date right before
we went to the 2 weeks in
we
June.
went to Egypt, which was in 1998, because we started to officially date June 25th of 1997.
No, it was 96 because that was the year I got my Jeep. We went to Fort Eustis first.
No, it was not 1996 because I enlisted in 1996.
Okay.
I did not. I originally enlisted in 1993, and then I went back in 1996. Mm-hmm. It was 1996, not 1995. So we were together in 1997, and then we had gone in the early part of 1998 to Egypt. And like I said, just to let you all know, because it's not really classified information or anything like that. We're not giving you classified information. There was a problem, and I believe there was a problem with a tour bus in 1996. I'm not going to say there wasn't. But I don't think the reason why there was something about 1998, to be honest with you, is because they don't always report everything that occurs. And they're certainly not going to report something that's related to the military. Even if it was a mistake, it would have never been reported as that, because that's just how it was back then. Nowadays it would, but not back before probably 2005. So in 1998, we went there, and we had, who was it, Lieutenant Turner, or was he captain at that time? I can't remember.
He was always a lieutenant from when he was a part of the unit.
We had Lieutenant Turner, who was a straight up reserve officer. Okay, so he didn't work full time like some of the reserve units did. Before we were about to get a change up where a regular Army person would be at our base, would be at our detachment, because we were very small. Before that happened, we all went to Egypt. And while we were in Egypt, because we had to keep our relationship semi-secret. I wasn't the best at doing that, but semi-secret. But everybody knew we were dating. So during that time, they said that, from each kind of unit or platoon or whatever, because there were so many units there at the time, that they were going to allow a couple people from each unit. Well, Fuzzy, of course, got picked. We all know why Fuzzy got picked, because he was the favorite. Right? But I also believe Lieutenant Turner was supposed to go with you. But Lieutenant Turner wanted his little mistress to go, and Fuzzy had given up his seat, and Lieutenant Turner was happy to do that. So, but they had canceled the bus at the last minute because they didn't want, because they knew there was a target on the bus. So there was another bus that was tourists that did get bombed, and it was kind of, because I remember hearing, they shouldn't have been saying it, but some of our officers were like, "Ooh, I was supposed to go on that bus. I'm glad it wasn't us." So kind of situation. So yeah, that's why I remember it.
Okay. There's some sort of Mandela effect between 96 and 98, because I do remember some things from 96 early in our relationship, because that was the year I had my Jeep and I brought the Jeep to Eustis. and that's why we got pulled over by the cop asking you if you were all right.
That was
while doing
1997.
No, it
It was
wasn't.
not 1996. I was in basic training at 1996. I was in AIT in 1996.
Okay.
I have a legitimate record of that because that's when I graduated AIT as a distinguished graduate.
Okay.
Yeah, as a distinguished graduate, guys. I was first in my class in AIT.
So, my apologies, but what was the point of that 15-minute story again?
I didn't know we
Mandela
were
effect.
reviewing The General's Daughter instead of fucking Disturbia. I'm not sure what happened. But...
We want our love story to be correct, okay?
That's fair. All I know is you guys gave me some coverage to go hit the bathroom, so I got to listen. I got to listen to that gas leak live while going to the bathroom.
Nobody wanted to hear our love story.
Not when we're reviewing Disturbia. Maybe if we do a different podcast, how we met or the after dark. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard the part where you were like, and we all know why they chose Fuzzy, I was like, oh no, she's gonna pull the race card. I was like, she's gonna go somewhere dark with this, and then you're like, oh, it's a favorite. I was like, oh, thank God.
I was the golden child because of my unit wanted me to be their commander. Like I started enlisted, and then I saw some of the officers that we were getting fresh out of college, and I'm like, these guys are fucking idiots. I can do better than this. So I found Valley Forge Military Academy and College, where you can get your commission in 2 years, and then you finish up your 4-year degree, but you already get your butter bar. And then you can earn butter bar pay while you're doing the mutas and things like that for ROTC. So it was like a win-win at the time until I realized my unit wanted to treat her like crap. Yeah. Even though, I'm the golden child and I'm actually probably tougher on her than they are because I want to keep everything on the up and up as far as appearances. And,
so what you're telling me is, and this makes so much more sense now that we know some backstory. This is why Fee's so pissed off about the fact that you're our golden child. Is because you were the golden child back then too.
Pretty much.
Makes so much more sense.
Pretty much.
I understand
Pretty much
why that gets presented and approached with so much frustration and anger. I feel like this is a Dr. This is like a Jerry Springer or Dr. Phil episode, and we're getting down to the heart of the matter.
All right, so this is the quote of where we're at right now. I'm confused, also not sure what we're talking about. I came back and heard Spinner's doghouse and classified information.
No, you heard no classified information. She tried to make sure that you
not classified, not even sensitive or any of that.
Yeah, we don't talk about any of that stuff here. We talk about stuff that's clearly releasable.
Yeah.
And spoilers.
And searchable on the internet, I guess, at least at this point. So,
all right, let's get Presto to start talking again.
Yeah, we got to get back to the movie Disturbia. So after the car accident, it flips and he gets the bracelet on his ankle.
I think this is the far as we got.
God damn, we're already an hour and a half in. We've only gotten to the part where he's got a bracelet on his ankle. Gaslight.
Pretty much.
So back to, what was it, like if you had like 2 or 3 months of no leaving the house time, would you be able to survive that as a teen?
Yeah, I think we covered that too.
Okay.
Is that where we
I had the internet, and unless my parents ended up doing the same thing that Kale's mom did to him, I would have made that shit work plenty for those months.
Well, we all knew you and Fuzzy would. Yes.
And just so chat, just so you aren't in the gutter on this, okay? Let's clarify. I would have been playing video games.
Yeah, we know.
That's what I would have been doing. I'd get your minds out of the gutter.
And-
I
and
wouldn't have been
those-
doing anything else.
And those kids would have definitely have not even started pranking you.
I wouldn't have even cared if they pranked me. I would have been like, I'm busy doing other shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing would have probably just burned out on the porch. Or I would have shot him with
Yeah.
the super soaker from the room window and been done with it.
Yeah,
I would
like
probably-
I was
I was about to tell on myself. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
I would have pissed in the little container because I had those super soakers. I had like 3 or 4 extra containers, and if you want to really get back at somebody, yeah, you pee in it, and then yeah, golden shower, dude. You know, put
Fucked up.
burning poop on my porch. Here's a golden shower for you.
It's fucked up.
But hey,
I got nothing.
You can't follow that, okay?
I thought you were a stand-up citizen. You're talking about golden showers now, so I don't know.
hey, they're putting burning poop on my porch. I gotta get them back some sort of way, and I can't leave the house yet. Oh, no.
Yeah,
they're getting
urinating on underage kids is your version of getting back to them.
Hey, they put burning poop on my porch.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I
Poison
wouldn't
Maniac.
have rocks to put in a
Exactly.
slingshot or something. So.
Poison Maniac in the chat highlights it
All right,
exactly.
all right. I'm getting
What in the R. Kelly am I hearing? Exactly.
I'm getting
Exactly.
flashbacks of some files here. I'm getting
No,
Yeah,
it's
flashbacks.
from the
that's-
super soaker. I'm not peeing out the
Yeah,
window.
That's what I called it too as a teenager. My super soaker.
Plus 316 said, "Fuck them kids."
But not legit, not actually, though. We're not trying to get on A files.
No, definitely no.
God damn.
What should we do at this point? We're about 20 minutes to 8. Should we just go ahead and rate this thing?
Yes.
I think we got really far off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sophie,
Maybe we should
what's
have a
your,
script in the future.
We didn't even get to talk about how he's being a creeper, and like the neighbor girl's just like, that is so fucking creepy or so fucking hot.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
theme back then. That was a
That's
theme back
either
then.
the creepiest thing I've ever heard or the hottest thing.
Yeah,
that was-
what?
That was not original. That was
Like-
that I can truly say was not an original line.
Okay.
He
here we
that
went
was in a
in-
lot of movies.
Here we go.
He went into great detail of like, you do this, you do that. Like, I know this, you think you do this. Like, it was like, okay, I'm a little weirded out. Like, is a girl really gonna be like, oh my god, he notices me that much? But then he kind of tried turning it on her. Like, well, does that, if you're noticing that, then you must be watching me. And it's just like, what do we do now? Let's just make out.
I was expecting him to pull a Transformers quote in that situation, be like, you know, there's more than meets the eye to you. Oh, I just heard Fee's audible sigh, so
I think
that's
I
good. That
think-
means I'm on the right path.
So I think that whole line that was, just red flags everywhere. I think that was put in movies because some guy thought that, hey, girls are so shallow and they must be, just overloaded with all of these, jocks, like saying whatever to them and being mean to them, that, this line would work every time. Yeah.
I mean, as a teenager at the time when I first heard that and being at the same age, I was like, that's sweet. He just literally got he got the in. But then as an adult watching this movie and going back to it and not being able to put myself back in those shoes, I'm like, oh God. that's not good.
Yeah. That's a pretty cheesy line.
Pretty cheesy line, and there's just a lot of stuff that makes you kind of feel like dirty.
I don't know. I think that's remnants of what Fuzzy said earlier. I'm just saying.
What about the golden showers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Fuzzy. I know you were the highlight of our mockery last week, but man, you put yourself right on the map again. Sorry, bud.
I cannot contain him sometimes. I'm sorry.
That didn't make it better.
I'm just talking about like revenge stuff. If people do stupid stuff, I did equally stupid stuff back when I was a teen.
So we now know not to get Fuzzy really mad.
Yeah.
No, I've calmed down a
He'll give you a
lot
golden
since
shower.
those days because I've had to. It would get too expensive breaking stuff or getting into trouble. So yeah, no.
So I'm just letting you know, guys. Just let you know. Just if you ever see our cat Ellie, just like step away. Don't look at her side eye or anything. It will make Fuzzy mad.
Why?
That's his princess.
Oh, for goodness sake. As long as they don't hurt the cat, I don't care how they look at the cat. Just don't hurt her. That's
Poison Maniac in the chat just made a good point. Said some new files just dropped. Just kidding, everyone. Just kidding. Oh God. Okay. So let's get this thing back online. Ratings. Fee, go.
All right. While I don't like watching thrillers over and over again, there are some thrillers that I will watch because of the mannerisms of the characters. And I think that's why I like Shia LaBeouf, because I like his mannerisms. I like his acting because he's very subtle when he needs to be subtle. He's very, unique in his mannerisms and everything. So this I'm going to rate at a 7.5 because it does give me remembrances of the olden days when things were simpler, clear cut, and it was okay to kind of foresee things in a movie without getting upset about it. So I would give this a 7.5.
nice. Interesting.
It is.
All right, I guess I can go next. I'm pretty much in the same score range, 7.5 for this. It's rewatchable. Other than getting frustrated at a couple of the scenes where you're like, "Oh, roll up your window, lock the door, and don't let the creepy guy in your car and snatch your keys out the ignition," kind of stuff. Aside from that, yelling at the screen for that stuff, it was definitely a good movie as far as. I thought it flowed well. Did some parts drag on a little bit further than they probably should have, or you're anxious because the kid's breaking into something and the guy is going to catch him, kind of thing. Yeah, that stuff keeps you on the edge of your seat. No chance of falling asleep on it or anything along those lines. But yeah, it was. I enjoyed myself watching this movie. Pretty good characters. Didn't really want to see any of them get extinguished or anything along those lines. I would say about the only thing that I always hate for like David Morrissey when he plays the bad guy, he plays it really well. Or even if he's not being like the villain, just being the a-hole, he has a great way of being the a-hole in a lot of his roles and stuff like that when he chooses to be. But yeah, this was a good movie. I recommend it. Worth rewatching, and a solid 7.5.
So Presto, are you playing with Puppy?
Yeah, she's jumping on her squeaky toy.
Yeah,
I'm not really playing with her, but she thinks it's playtime right now, and she ate, so you're like, hey, we got to settle down now, not play. But since you called on me, I'll go. So I like to refer to this, the perfect way I can describe it. It's like, it reminds me of a Lifetime movie with the big name actors in it and actresses. Like, It looks like your typical movie that would be on Lifetime, like a little suspenseful movie, maybe a little bit gorier, or there's a little bit more blood and dead bodies than a Lifetime movie, but there were some parts of the plot that I mentioned before I didn't really care for. The more I thought about it, the more I don't like it. Not saying it's a horrible movie by any means, but it shows its date. It's dated also a little.
Mhm.
Not like my movie Scream. Watch that, and it's not dated ever. Shout out to Scream for keeping them coming out, baby. I'm gonna give this a 7. No, I'm not. I'm gonna give it a 6.8. Not a 7. I'm good. Not watching it again. I don't regret it. It wasn't a waste of time by any means. I just not gonna really recommend it or anything.
Damn.
I needed some more action. I needed like, I don't know. At some points, I found myself rooting for the killer. Like, yo, is he gonna really let these little not-nosed kids bust them? Like, no,
Did you-
fucking take them out.
Did you feel disappointed that Officer Gutierrez was not going to be able to get his fun with Hale?
That guy's a dick. That cop, he like got off on making his life a living hell. So, fuck him. He got the exorcist treatment. His head turned around. So that'll teach him.
I'll show up to the scene when I show up to the scene.
There's movies like this though where I think about it and I'm like, if they didn't have the cast that it did, like if it didn't have Shia LaBeouf or whoever else, and it just had like normal people, would it be a straight to television movie, like, or would it still be in the movie theaters? I think personally, I think it would just be a TV movie. Like it wouldn't be a movie theater movie.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a copycat to this that was a Lifetime type movie.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably like 17 of them out there. I mean, it's not very original, if you know what I'm saying, Fee. Shout out to Fee.
And as Presto has alluded to, yes, the cop died. So spoiler.
He got his head snapped back. The guy walked behind him and he was looking backwards before he knew it.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll jump in real quick. So right up front, I'd probably give it a 7. Probably would have given it higher initially. But again, going back to this and seeing it and being in like a different stage of life, different experiences. I probably would put it like a 7.5, maybe an 8 when I was younger. But watching back over it and seeing some of like the cringy behavior, the stalkerish behavior and stuff, it didn't set with me the same as it did when I was a young teenager, full of angst and hormones. It was a little creepy, especially as my kids were watching this movie with me, and I kept seeing things happen. I'm like, oh, that didn't age well at all. And it's not that it necessarily didn't age well in general, as much as it just didn't age well with me. Because as I grew up, those things, as I came back to them, I was like, oh, yeah, that's creepy. It's just like when you find out that the dad in Back to the Future was a peeping Tom. It's like when you saw it when you were a kid, you're like, oh, that's funny. He's looking at boobies. That's great. And then when you get older, you're like, oh, that's kind of fucking creepy. It just doesn't hold the same as you get older. So it just kind of hit me differently, which I get if not everyone had that same approach, but it just hit me a little different than what it did when I was younger.
Can we talk about Shia LaBeouf cock blocking the kids at the end of the movie? Like kids
finally
found
and that was
the Playboy
hilarious
channel.
Yeah.
and
That
he's
was
once
hilarious.
again peeping on him. Like, Jesus, man.
True.
Peeping.
Yeah, which is also creepy, right? So he's peeping on young kids, peeping on inappropriate content.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, you got the girl. She's next to you. How about you do something with her, maybe? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Just some things that, like, again, it's no
Yes, but
fault of the movie. It's
so
just
I'm
it's when
gonna
I'm
say this.
coming back to it.
I'm gonna stop you here, and I'm gonna say this. At least it's a better alternative than what Fuzzy came up with.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, Fuzzy, I love to get your back on most of these things, but I don't know about the golden shower stuff, bud. I don't know if I can defend that.
I found the weakness.
Just not really, not my bag, baby. But
Yeah,
you know,
leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know?
yeah, exactly, exactly. Well said, well said. But yeah, so I'd put it at a 7. I enjoyed it. It was good. It's fun to go back and watch those movies. It's fun to go back and watch a Shia LaBeouf that wasn't necessarily showing as many miles on his soul at that point in time. He was still doing films, and you could tell he hadn't fully been impacted by all the shit he'd gone through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I would watch it again, but it definitely doesn't hold up in the way that a lot of other movies do when I come back to them.
So yeah, I mean, most people were pretty close to at least your 2 ratings, because me and Fuzzy had gone before they put them up. So we have the one saying 7.5 because I said that. Silent was 6.5, and Fuzzy was 7.5 because he said that, and then Presto was 7. Those were the guesses.
Okay.
So I mean, pretty close. So so wait a minute, you guys, which one is not going to be available? Are you guys going to be available next week?
Should be.
Let me double check. Hold, please.
Yeah, we didn't pick a movie yet.
Yeah, I don't have anything, so it looks like I'm in the clear.
I should get to pick.
Oh shit. Okay.
So back to shit movies again, I see.
We had a good streak, chat.
Yeah, we had a good run.
So we must think about this.
What are you picking?
I don't know.
We gotta make sure that the chat knows what we're gonna be watching, so that way they can get the scoop, so they can watch this thing too. Do you have anything that you've been wanting to make us watch? I mean, giving us the opportunity to watch.
Probably Grizzly 2, The Revenge.
You motherfucker.
No.
That looks good.
I'll give it a shot.
But good, horrible, but good.
No.
Okay.
Let me see what we have here. In my, if I can ever get to the thing.
Casting Grizzly shade. I thought I knew you, man.
Hey, I'm for it. It's better than what she's going to tell us to watch.
What? What do you mean? I do not know what you're talking about.
You probably got a spreadsheet of shitty movies that you somehow convince yourself are decent.
Well, some people agree with me.
The minority.
Not even the vocal minority.
Not even the vocal. Really? Let me see what's in here. I've got a lot of good ones.
I'm sure that clueless boy that was in Dead and Breakfast probably agrees with you, but I think that's about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what's more painful, these movies or her trying to pick one out.
About.
I just think we should go back to story time. That was fun.
That was rough.
I mean, do you guys want to try the long walk?
Oh.
No.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not seen it yet.
Oh.
Let me tell you, people are
saw that.
walking.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Well, I mean, I
once.
read
That
the
was
book.
enough. That was definitely enough.
Did y'all read the book?
Nope.
I don't read.
Nope. Didn't need to after that. That was
Should make you watch Boarding House.
All right, pick a movie. This is ridiculous.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to. You're putting me on the spot here.
I'm surprised you didn't have a list. We've actually hijacked the options for the last like 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, I mean, because you were fast usually. You know they have a movie called Crack Coon?
No, I didn't know that.
So I'm hearing good things about Bring Her Back.
Bring her back.
That one's.
What?
Oh boy. There was a scene in Bring Her Back that still haunts me to this day. I know it just came out last year, but I even watched the behind the scenes of it, and it still was like, oh my god, like that's so fucked up. I don't know if I want to re-experience that scene again. Whatever.
You can
I'd
skip
watch
over it. I mean, it's etched into your mind, right? So you can just watch the rest of the movie and just skip over that scene, right?
Okay.
Does that work?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
All right, Bring Her Back.
Watch Together. That's a fucked up one.
Together, dude. Together was great. You're talking about the Franco one, right?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Spice Girls, baby.
that movie was great.
It was something.
It was definitely something.
You like body horror, that's your movie.
My God, yeah. Hey, actually, speaking of, if you're talking body horror, what was that other one? It was killing her softly or whatever. It's that one with Twilight Girl in it. And it's about the the bodybuilding chick.
Yeah.
That was quite a movie too. Should watch that one. Not for this, but just in general, you should watch it. Has a great cast.
So Dave Franco and Alyssa Brie.
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about.
That one was good.
You can't even say without laughing.
it had some moments. That's what I'll say. I'm not gonna.
All right. Well, I'll try. We'll try. Bring Her Back.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say about the long walk. For a very, very long time, this is a book that Stephen King wrote way back. Like I was a young girl. Like my brother's blind. He's totally blind now, but he was legally blind. So he would listen to Stephen King stories. And of course I would have to listen to him too because I could hear him in his bedroom. So this was like 1980s when this book was written. And up until now, there have been so many people that have tried to put Long Walk on the screen. And Stephen King has rejected everybody. And then finally, he agreed to this one. And now you're telling me, everybody seems to be telling me that Stephen King was correct, that this could never be put on the screen the same way that it could be written in a book. Because it's
so without spoiling anything, I think the thing is and again, I haven't read the book, so I can't say for sure, but it seems like the vision that he was trying to portray, they got across. But the thing is like, I went into this movie expecting one thing, and there was not that turn that I was hoping for.
What were you expecting?
Well, again, not to get into like spoilers or anything, but I was hoping that it was going to be a situation like a Hunger Games where there was going to be like turning over of the control, and there
No.
was not that.
No, that
And
was
it's
never.
literally all of that for like 2 hours or whatever it was.
It
It's very bleak.
it was never meant to be that way.
No,
he
and
wrote it
that's
to be
fine.
bleak. And
That's
I
fine.
don't.
I just didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the ending was in the movie, but in the book, it is the bleakest of the bleak that you could have ever come
Yeah.
up with as an
Yeah,
ending
so
to this
so they
long
do
walk.
that. Yeah, so they do that very, very accurately then.
Yeah.
And there were things where it's like even just early on some of the initial experiences, I'll keep as vague as possible. You see stuff and experience stuff where you're just like, wow, that was fucked.
So were there
and so they did a
flashbacks,
good job.
but were there flashbacks of their backstories in there?
I'm trying to remember.
Like
A
where they
little
came
bit.
from?
A little bit, I think, but
Because
not with all the characters. It was just with a couple, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, there were a lot of characters that we were able to see the backstory.
Well, yeah,
from.
because you're talking about like 50 plus people or something that start off.
Well, no, not all of them. It was just the tight knit group.
Sure,
The ones
yeah.
that they originally named, and the one kid, starts to go around to the ones close to him.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where he can speak to directly. Those were the ones that got the flashbacks. And of course the flashback.
So they don't necessarily jump in, from what I remember at least, because I saw it in theaters when it first came out. From what I remember, they didn't dive into a bunch of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just in general, like even though there wasn't a ton of character building on some of those characters, it still was just grisly and rough, just because of what was going on.
So in the book, of course, Stephen King always gets grisly and rough in his book in reference to the deaths and everything that he does in all of his books. So
yeah, they portrayed that.
There was a lot of rich backstory to several of the characters, not like one or two, but several of the characters that gave reason to why they were there. And then of course ending on paper is probably much better than the visual. So if you didn't like the movie, that's great. But you have to read the book to really understand where he was going, and it's actually a really good book. The only thing is that I don't think he still puts it under his name. He puts it under one of his pen names, because he's got multiple pen names, by the way. But the Bachman books is where it's in. You can get it separate from the other 3 stories in there, but it's called the Bachman books, or the Long Walk Bachman.
I'm sure that it was fairly like well delivered to what his hope was.
I don't think it was.
What his idea was, if he was going for it, but just in general, it just was not what I was aiming for.
Stephen King in the movie? Did he put himself in the movie? Did you see him in there as a cameo?
I don't think so.
You know when you see Stephen King in his movie.
I mean, like, I know what he looks like, but I don't think I remember him in there.
Yeah, if he was in there as a cameo, then he had 100% backing for it. If he's not in it as a cameo, then he didn't have. He probably gave them the rights to do it, but he probably wasn't too enthused to do it.
Well, I mean, whatever the case is, again, like take it as my own personal experience. Like, feel free to watch it yourself, make your own opinion on it. But yeah, for me, I was hoping for something different, and when it didn't end up being that, and it became kind of just like a very grisly, like dour experience, it was just not what I was not what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I mean, I could have told you it was not going to end well.
Yeah,
Wasn't meant
yeah,
to. There was no happy
yeah.
ending for them.
No,
But if you're seeing the people on here that say it's a 3 out of 10 or they didn't like it, and you're seeing all the commenters that you have relationships with in the comment section of our audience tonight, I would say, you know what, if you haven't seen it, of course you can see it if you want. Anybody can see it, but
yeah,
I would read the book. I would straight up read the book.
And if you're gonna watch the movie, I mean the thing that you have going for you that I didn't, and I don't know if Presto watched it in theaters, but I watched it in theaters, and it was not something that I would necessarily want to digest in one sitting. If I were going to go through it, just because of the nature of what it is, personally. But anyways.
So we're going to watch Bring Her Back, which has been out for a little bit. So it's free on Amazon. I don't know if it's on any other streaming service, but it is free on Amazon if you have it. Let me see if it is free on.
It's HBO Max, it looks like. Shows that it's only HBO Max.
And I mean, that's quite possible.
Doesn't say Prime, just says you can rent it on Prime. Rent or buy.
So it does say it's on Hulu with a subscription to
HBO.
HBO. And then, of course, this doesn't want to do what I want it to do, of course. I hate when that happens. Everything else is pay. I'm trying to see if... All right, here's the other one. That baby. All right. Yeah, it still looks like it's pay, but it's as low as $4.99 on Fandango and Prime, probably rent. But again, it is, if you have the HBO Max, it is streaming for free on that one, or through HBO Max or whatever. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're good. All good. All right. I guess we're doing outros.
Okay. Well, I guess
I went first last time.
I'll jump in real quick. You can probably find me dodging some of the social media right now, as Doom and Gloom has now just decided to like take over the whole picture again. But that's fine, because it's always nice to step away for a second, go play some video games, watch some movies, etc. So you'll probably catch me playing some more Arc Raiders. If anyone decides I want to play that, FarQ and myself, as well as my son, have actually been playing a ton of it. I keep trying to get Fuzzy into it, and Fuzzy, have you even gotten Arc Raiders?
I do have it on Xbox. I just have yet to play it. I at one of these stages, when I'm not having the driving bug, I will start my journey in Arc Raiders.
Okay. Well, you should definitely join us and play. But any of the folks in the chat, if you are wanting to play that game, if you have it or if you haven't played it or anything, just hit us up. It's always fun to run around with a team of 3 in that thing. Generally, you run into a lot of cool people. Sometimes you run into some ass goblins. There's some rats out there. But generally, it's a fun experience. Besides that, yeah, you'll find me here next Friday And the Friday after that, you'll catch me here and also on Breakfast with Boom, I think, as long as I'm in town. I don't think I really have anything else scheduled for the next little bit. It's going to be kind of radio silent for a minute. So, pun intended.
Right, I guess I'll go next. Yeah, for the most part, I will be probably dodging, or no, I'll be in the middle of the social media dumpster fire as far as gaming is concerned. We'll see if AI is what it's cracked up to be or not to be or whatever. But other than that, you can find me on social media. Just do a search for Fuzzy Belvedere. I'm going to do a video related to a mode I want to see in Forza Horizon 6, so be on the lookout for that. But other than that, look forward to seeing you guys here next week, same time, same channel for the Bring Her Back review. But presto, let everybody know where they can find you. Oh, he's still on mute. Fee, let everybody know where they can find you. Oh,
There
wait,
you
here's
go.
Presto.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, Poison's usually good with taking care of all our social media stuff. Basically, I think the only thing really planned is just going to see Scream 7 on Thursday night, the Phantom event or whatever they're calling it. I think we talked a little bit, or at least I did last time. The popcorn buckets at all the different theaters are pretty sick. So look those up in case you didn't. People are going crazy over them. This one, the projected numbers already just for pre-sale tickets are insane. And yeah, there are talks of a Scream 8 already. So we'll see. It's a franchise that keeps living, and I love it. So yeah, I'm just super pumped that it's finally coming. Also, they just released a music video for the movie. It's with Ice Nine Kills and actually McKenna Grace, who's in the movie. I didn't know she was a singer, but she's actually a pretty good singer. Ice Nine Kills is a metal band that's very horror themed. They'll do songs. Each song will be about a different horror movie. Their merchandise is very horror themed. They have their own convention in Connecticut now, I believe. Like, they're a very fun band to see live. So yeah, Spencer and Ice Nine Kills are part of the music video, maybe even in the movie. I don't know. So yeah. Other than that, just hanging out. I guess the other two left. So
Hey, look at that.
thanks for
Just
joining us.
Well, I
and,
guess we can go ahead. I guess we can go ahead and
we'll see you next
apologize
week.
for Fee's bad
All right.
takes.
Bye.
Cheers. See ya. Well, this is awkward. No, sounds like Fuzzy and Fee actually just lost the internet, so they won't be able to close this thing down. So rest assured, this is the end of the show. Have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you soon. Feel free to leave. Have a good weekend.